Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Welcome Deer Corner. Doing something different this time. Actually getting out in the woods. But for a good cause. Helping a friend. Wayne's been under the weather for about 4 months. And I'm up here in the Great Smoky Mountains. He's finally up and out, getting about, and Jim and I are coming up with him. They're on their way up right now. I'm setting my camp up and enjoying. Just going to enjoy the evening. But we got a lot of weed eating and stuff to pick up. He's going to be bringing his camper up here. Stands to get ready. Going to do some scouting. And this is a pretty hot area right here. Now he's fortunate to have it. It's been in his family for, I think he said around 200 years, 150 years, 200 years. It's been in his family. But it's different. About 800 yards towards the camera. Now some say 1,200, some say 1,500 acres of peach and apple orchard. Now I know they're there, I don't know how much total. Owned by Gerber Baby Food. They do baby food canning. And about 500 yards behind me is the river. And this is kind of like, I think he said a little over 200 acres. It's kind of like a runway. It runs between the river and the orchard. Now his family used to work years and years ago. Used to work in the canning company there, in the orchards. That's how they made their living. That's how they purchased this land and why they stayed here. But that's why I'm here, and we're coming up to help him get ready to go. And I'm just setting up camp. Usually I camp in a tent. But it's such a nice, it's nice. Got up about 85 today, but it's supposed to drop in the low 60s tonight. And I brought the hammock out. Got the hammock set up with a tarp. They're calling for rain later on this evening. So, got the tarp up. And I hope it does rain and make a nice night, for me anyway. But, again, I'm going to sit here and make me a cup of coffee. They're about an hour, hour and a half out. And I'm going to sit here and enjoy a cup of coffee. A little tricky. Everything's downhill. Nothing flat. Thought I lost that one, but anyway, we're up here to help him get ready, get his campsite set up, weed eat, deer stands ready to go, do some scouting. And like I say, up here in the Great Smoky Mountains. I would show where I'm parked. I'm only parked about 30 yards from here. But the front of it, would actually give away where we're at. And he kind of wants us to keep it quiet, keep things quiet. So don't mind filming, but not up front. So I'm going to sit here, have a cup of coffee. Like I say, they're on their way up. They'll be here in about an hour. And I'm just going to have a good old time right here this weekend. Plan to stay tonight and tomorrow night. You can hear that wind blowing through the trees. Some big deer up here. Little history. Little history here. Back in the late 60s, early 70s. There weren't any deer here. They pretty well were slaughtered, I will say. It don't matter how big they were, a baby or a fawn, or it didn't matter. They shot them all year long back then for food. Same thing with the bear, the grouse, everything. Anything that was edible, they ate it. They killed it all. You may have had a few straggler deer wander here and there. That was about it. But the Cannon Company helped and got involved. And they relocated deer here. And like I say, Gerber's is right over here. And they relocated deer from up north. Some say Maine, some say Michigan. Some say 60, some say 120. But they relocated a bunch of deer down here. But I do know the deer that are here are really good size. They're big. They're big deer. And quite a few of them now. So that's a little history here about this ground. And I'm going to help him. I'm going to work with him. We're going to hunt this a couple times this year. Him and his son will be hunting a lot of it. But I am going to come up here and hunt. Once the camp's set up, the campers set in, things like that, and come on up. They get an average of 3 to 8 inches of snow and ice here on this mountain every year. And that's what I want to come up to. I want to come up to snow and ice. I love hunting snow. I do. I really like hunting snow. So I'm going to go ahead and make my coffee. Sit here rambling on. And I'm going to get back with you here later on this evening. I'm going to sit here, drink my coffee, just watch and listen. All right, they made it up. We got their camp set up. We had supper. We talked a while. Temperature's dropping. Everybody's calling it a night. There is a trick getting into these things. It's not talked about too much. And the trick is, when you get into it, grab the lip, grab about 8 inches of the hammock, and then set in. That way, when you're set in, you're pretty well centered in the hammock. That's the trick getting into one of these. And if you slept in a hammock, if you can sleep in a lazy boy, an easy chair, it's just like a hammock. Hammock's just the same way, the comfort's the same as a lazy boy. And if you can sleep in one of them, you can sleep in one of these. I like it because it's easy on my shoulder. But we talk about deer hunting, getting things ready to go, scouting, getting his stands up. There's one trick I will tell you tonight about bagging, taking a good mature deer. I've taken many nice deer in my lifetime. I don't know exactly how many. Several big deer. And the trick is, you got to hunt. You got to be out there hunting. I hunt 40 times to see garbage, and then finally get a chance at a good deer. I have 32 stands, and I try to hunt. I never hunt them all every year, but I have 32 stands up. So it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, and a lot of hunting to get that big deer, that mature deer. There really isn't no magic dirt, dust, or spray. It takes hunting and time and patience. But like I say, I've taken a lot of nice deer in my lifetime. But for every one nice deer I took, I may have hunted 40 times to see nothing or small deer. But that's the trick. That's the trick about hunting and hunting mature deer. You got to be out there. You got to be doing it. Grant you, some people do get lucky. Go out, scout, get a nice deer. But then years later, that's the only deer they got. Some of these gadgets, you got to watch. They don't work. So the only real trick into getting a good mature deer is you have to be out there doing it. And that's what we talked about tonight. How many deer have we taken in our lifetime? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. How many big deer? I've took several, but a lot more small deer than big deer. But I'm getting ready to call it a night, and if it starts raining and things change, I'll bring you along. I'll go ahead and get up. But if not, I'll be seeing you in the morning, and we're just gonna call it an evening. Nice and quiet, peaceful. The owls, boy, the owls are out tonight. So we're just gonna see you later. I'm gonna call it a night.